you ever feel like building a house that's actually good just takes too long, or too many resources, or it's just too difficult and never worth it? Well, I think this house can fix that, but I need to know what you think. Now, I'm not claiming this is the easiest house to build, but it's definitely not the most difficult as long as you follow these steps. The foundation I just built will act like a map for you to follow. We're getting started by building the lower wall first. It's 4 blocks high and made using cobblestone, but if you have it, stone brick will look great too. Now, I built this in a way where I could frame it with oak logs to make it look better, but if this feels a bit too complicated, by all means just use cobblestone for this entire room. It should still look good. The next step is a smaller and more manageable one. We'll be building these oak log frames on each side of the main room. This will allow us to add a bit more detail to the build while also adding use to it, as they can be animal pens. Keep in mind that we still need to get into the house, so building a few doorways at the bottom will be convenient. It might also be useful to have access to the top right from outside, so building a staircase here will be useful and it'll make the build look even better. Now that we can get to the top, let's fill this floor in so that we can get started on the second layer. We'll be building a slightly smaller oak log frame here, which will make building the rest of the house much easier. Just keep in mind it's 4 blocks high and connected at the top. In an attempt to simplify things further, I just decided to build a wall at the back. A few basic details were used to make it look better, which are optional but recommended. I followed a similar theme in front, but included a doorway here because you'd need to get in. Now, there's an opportunity to make this even easier by using an open design for the side walls. This does mean we will need a balcony, which is a worthwhile trade if you ask me. Just keep in mind that I am using campfires to give the balcony a roof, which I know can be a pain to get a lot of. It might be worthwhile to skip the balcony's roof if it's too difficult, and maybe build it later when you can. But since this design is meant to be used for a good survival world experience, I figured it needs space for a prop farm. This is an easy challenge to solve, as you can hide water under the walls and just turn the outside area into farmland as far as it'll let you go. I'm planting wheat because bread. Now the next step is the roof. I'm using a slightly different design here because I think it looks better. It may look more complicated, but I encourage you to give it a try because it really isn't as difficult as it looks, and it really takes the build to the next level. All that's left is to fill the roof in, and I didn't include an interior as I realize most people usually just build it their own way. Now, I've got loads more builds for you to try, and some of them are more difficult too, so if you'd like to improve your building skills, consider subscribing. However, if you're looking for a more elaborate house, give this video a watch next.